Human-animal interactions in dairy goats.
Welcome to Journal Club.
The latest academic research, explained in plain English. Today we're looking at this paper from MDPI's Journal of Animals. It's authored by Karnovail, et al., from the Estonian University of Life Sciences, and is published open access under a CC BY license.
Let's start by translating the title into more accessible language. When you read this title, you can understand it to mean in very simple terms that
this paper is about how humans and goats interact with each other on dairy farms.
Let's expand on that a little.
The paper aims to understand how the way people treat and handle dairy goats affects the goats' well-being and milk production. The authors may also explore how these interactions can be improved to provide a better quality of life for the goats. Now we understand the title, which is a good start, but before we can break down the full paper, we'll need to catch up on some terminology, jargon, background information and context. Specifically, there are some key concepts you'll need to be familiar with. Let's define them now.
Welfare.
The state of an animal's physical and emotional well-being.
Rossa Mediterranean goat breed, a specific breed of goat that is commonly raised for milk production.
Avoidance distance, the distance between an animal and a human when the animal chooses to move away from the human.
Milking parlor, a facility where goats are milked by humans.
Behavioral observations, a process of recording and analyzing an animal's actions and reactions to different situations. Stockmen, people who work with and care for farm animals. Neutral interactions, interactions between humans and animals that do not have a positive or negative effect on the animal.
Kicks, a physical reaction that goats may have when they are uncomfortable or distressed. Now that we understand the title and key concepts, we're ready to dive in and break down this paper.
In this presentation we're going to attempt to answer 5 questions.
1. What were the researchers trying to figure out?
Or more specifically, what was their hypothesis?
2. How did they conduct their experiment?
That is, how did they test their hypothesis?
3.
4.
What conclusions did the authors draw from those results? And lastly, 5.
Why does this research matter?
Why should you care? 1. What were the researchers trying to figure out?
The researchers hypothesized that the quality of human-animal interactions affects the welfare of lactating goats on dairy farms. They aim to evaluate methods for monitoring welfare, with particular attention to assessing the human-animal relationship.
2. How did they conduct their experiment?
The researchers observed 14 dairy goat farms in southern Italy and collected information about the animals, farms, and management practices. They performed multiple tests on the goats, including an avoidance distance test, an approach test, and observation of behavior during milking. 2 observers were trained to standardize data collection technique. They used descriptive statistics and the Spearman correlation coefficient to analyze the data. The farm was used as the experimental unit, and variables such as positive interactions/goat and negative interactions/goat were recorded. 3. What were the results? The researchers found that a positive relationship with humans was associated with a reduced distance in approach tests, and a higher number of animals that allow themselves to be touched. The percentage of goats that let themselves be touched at the manger was higher than in the pen. The number of steps and kicks made by the goats during milking was used to assess the animal's level of restlessness. A strong correlation was found between the stockmen's behavior and the level of agitation in animals during milking. Positive interactions, such as talking in a low voice and caressing the animals with gentle touches, can help calm the animals, while negative interactions may cause an increase in agitation and stress that negatively affect milk production. 4. What conclusions did the authors draw from their results? The researchers found that both tests for evaluating human-animal relationships in goats, involving the manger and pen, were valid. However, it is recommended to use the manger test in settings with a feed alley as it is less time-consuming. They also found that the behavior of the stockman can impact the behavior of goats, as has been seen in other animal species. 5. Why does this research matter? This research paper is important because it explores the human-animal interactions and their impact on the welfare of dairy goats. By evaluating the effectiveness of various assessment methods, the paper sheds light on the importance of building a positive relationship between farmers and animals. The paper highlights that stockman behavior can affect the behavior of goats during the milking routine. The findings of this study can be applied to improve the living conditions of goats, ultimately leading to better animal welfare in the dairy industry.
We hope you've enjoyed this Journal Club presentation of human-animal interactions in dairy goats.
If you'd like to read the full paper yourself, which we encourage you to do, you can find it at DOI 10.3390/ANI 131222030.